Yeah, they don't need no name.
Like
Sanju
her.
and the girl.
Oh, she don't need no name. She just M.
Oh, yeah. Norman. Who hurt you, Norman?
Facts. Oh, okay. Demon was never eaten human.
Yeah, what's the deal?
Wow.
After the promise, but before the farm system was established. It's very interesting.
Oh.
Interesting. Why'd she stop? Okay.
There's a button here, though.
Yeah, what's the catch? Okay. Duh, power. They're like, yeah, that kind of ruins our whole operation thing.
Killed and ate everyone.
Yikes. Okay. Okay. It's all right, Emma. Neither do I. Well, I kind of understand because they got a whole monopoly on the farm thing going, right? Yeah. Well, that too. Yeah. There's so many examples throughout history of kings being like, that's a great invention you got there. Kill him. Like, all the time, dude. Damn.
Ooh.
Oh boy. Savage. Norman's an actual savage. Norman's like, Emma? Damn. Isn't that Becky girl like still in the basement or something like that? You better be careful. Right? She's gonna blast through the floor and just beat your head in. Oh, correct, because they have it too.
We're talking perfect world here, though. Like,
yeah,
like that's kind of.
I guess it depends on the person, but the thing is when you're taking multiple people into account. It's a tough one. The issue with Emma here, to me, not that it's bad. Like, obviously, her plan is the more, righteous one. But it's kind of going off the assumption that everyone, that you're going to get everyone to agree with it, And, like, that's the issue. Like, there's a reason why Sanju and or the girl were almost annihilated to begin with, So...
wait. What?
Oh. There's one gate left? Of course.
Oh, God.
Why wouldn't it be? The irony. Yeah.
I mean, no.
Oh boy. Phil will go. Phil will be their speaker.
Yeah, their speaker.
Yeah. Yeah. The gatekeeper. Oh, he said, I say this with certainty. It's a cool OST. Oh. Oh. Oh, yikes. Oh, boy. He's going to pull his hand away. That's how you're going to know. Yep. Savage. Norman. Damn. He said, Emma, I'm built different. Wow.
Yeah.
Was he going to say something, though? Almost maybe he's tricking himself into that resolve. Emma can be, persuasive in that way. $10 days. Say 6. Ah, no, Emma, come on. You're forcing your negotiation skills. Oh, boy. Ooh. This guy, bro. Oh. Oh, man. Has Norman's resolved, though, like...
No, I'm waiting for this conversation.
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel like I'm overreading every scene now, but like 100%. Him just looking at his hand like that, and then like all of it, I'm like, I don't know, dude. I don't think he's there for it.
And I think that they feel the same way.
Mm.
Oh, God.
Oh, man, the lair of evil. I love how tiny he is compared to everyone. They're like, boss. I love when Norman's just like flipping through those papers.
Mm-hmm.
All right, take it easy. Some precious material in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh! Look at Norman just unfazed, bro. This man is just like,
well, she's probably been crazy since
since
forever.
frame one.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that's
the typical
my head is
experimental,
splitting.
my head's gonna blow up thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, about a seizure. It looked like buttons. There's a lot of pills, bro. So there are, I guess, on their way out anyway.
So that's why he's so pressed for time.
Gotcha. Oh boy. A little thing. I don't know, Norman. Tell us.
He's probably like, continue with the plan right now. I'd kind of be about it. Just saying.
Savage.
Oh.
Oh! He said, of course not. Oh, Norman, dude. Oh, man. Dude.
Wait.
Oh! What?
Oh, is that something for the serum?
I guess maybe. That looked like a Giga Demon. So,
Yeah.
like, he's got to be important in some way, shape, or form.
Some way.
And they took him down. Like, they're using his blood or something like
and
that.
there's probably no way to give him back nicely.
Oh, yikes. These kids, bro.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy. I get it. Ooh, the old man got her. Oh boy. He's like, yeah, but like I'm hungry as hell.
Yeah, but there wouldn't really be hate because they just degenerate into mindless animals.
Well, somebody was commenting that apparently it's worse than that in the sense that once they degenerate, they eat anything in sight, so they eat each other.
Yeah.
So the demons would start slaughtering each other, and like that's the whole messed up thing about it is that's how they kill themselves in the end.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. But she said like, oh, it'll spread hate. Like it wouldn't really because they would just be into mindless nothing. At the end of the day,
I understand.
Like, there's no
where
hate
it's like,
being...
yeah, like an animal, like a lion doesn't hate; it does what it needs to do. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, my friend posed like a weird thing on me, saying that they're more or less kind of parasites. Like they don't have their actual human intelligence unless they eat humans. So it's like they're not necessarily deserving of that intelligence because they're really just leeching it off of other people.
Oh, that's an interesting argument.
Yeah, I didn't really think of it from that perspective.
But I guess it's tough once they do ascend to that human level of intelligence that it's like now that they've seen that they're capable of that, it makes it that much more messed up.
Are they deserving of that?
I guess is it for them to choose? I get, you know, and that's the question. Like, are they able to play God? I love how Don's going along with the plan. Okay, with Emma's plan. Gilda had her doubts. But this is Emma we're talking about,
That
so,
is true.
you know. And it's like she's not wrong. There's no like it's not like right or wrong in that sense. It's like
Yeah, I mean,
I
honestly,
get
they're
it.
both right in their own ways. They're both wrong in their own
exactly.
ways. Like,
So it's like it's a weird call.
Yeah.
Obviously, Emma's kind-hearted one. It's just that at the end of the day, this is an I want to see where they take this later.
mhm.
You know what? I'll save it for after the episode. Sorry. Let's see. Damn. Mm. Oh man. Emma, always with that double hand grab.
Yeah, right.
Emma, you master manipulator. Yo, Dawn's kind of a G, bro. I love Dawn. Happy cry?
I mean, that's kind of impossible. But okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Don't ask the question.
Try to have a moment here, Mini Norman, okay?
Oh, they're hunting the birds.
Ah. Oh, man. They don't want to leave like one of the really, really competent people back with the kids just in case.
Well, that old guy's still like doing his 9 to 5. Don't forget, there was that other demon who steered off the path when he was following Emma and Ray.
Oh,
And the two other little ones. So they know where this hideout is, and they're probably going to annihilate all the kids.
Oh, does he have the head thing too?
100%.
Because they experimented on him.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, damn. Norman. Oh, shit. That's a lot of blood. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, flashback. Okay.
Yeah, I just got chills just from the soundtrack.
Oh, God. I know. I love this. Dude. Oh, man. Bring me back to season 1, dude. Dude.
Oh my God, he looks so cute.
I know, bro, with the hat and everything. Oh, man. If I ever have a son one day, I'm cosplaying him as a Norman. Okay. Yeah. What was the deal? Because I was very curious as to know why they would ship someone with such high value to go get experimented on. I mean, that could be the argument, right? It's like, well, because he's so high value, but you'd figure that he'd want to be eaten. Oh, he's already blanket. He's already fuzzy visioned a little bit. Interesting.
Isabel's like, psst, over here, bitch. Yeah.
What? Uh-huh.
Oh no, the soundtrack stopped. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Who is this?
Yo, what if that, I don't know.
End of it. It's a precarious situation, obviously. Oh, you know what it was? My thing putting forward was I I don't want to sound like a pessimist, and I don't want to sound like I want this to be a bad ending. Not bad in the sense that we all hate it, but bad in the sense that, bad things happen to the cast.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm gunning for that, but I do appreciate anime or just stories that have consequences, and they've definitely had consequences in the show. I think the first season is very indicative of that, but this is like large scale. This is like genocide versus, long-lasting peace, which is like, these are two things that don't just easily, get put forward. And it's like, yeah, give me 5 days and we'll solve this whole like peace issue, which we made a deal about 1,000 years ago. It's like, dude, and you're like 12. And like, don't get me wrong. I'm not discounting her because of her age. She's incredibly smart. And the point is that her heart's in the right place. But also, I guess what I'm trying to say here is that I'm curious to see, if any, what the consequences will be for Emma's actions here. Because I truly am a believer that every decision for something is against something. And that doesn't have to be taken in such terms that it's like, oh my gosh, everything I decide for is going to have some like crazy detrimental effect. But I do think that there's something to be said about that. I'm going to get all Full Metal Alchemist here, but like law of equivalent exchange, in the sense that it's like, if you're making a decision that heavy for, yourself and other people and getting them along with it, you're going to have to potentially deal with some heavy consequences, in the sense that some of your people might die that are close to you. We all, or whatever, right? There might be like some crazy thing. They might not want to go along with it, whatever. Point is that I would like there to be this play on consequences here, and kind of taking Norman and Emma's mindset, rather than just, okay, Emma does this and everything kind of just works, and Norman sees the error of his way and he's like, I should have just trusted from the beginning. And obviously that's the ending you want, in a sense, right? Where it's like, in real world scenario, of course you want Emma's thing to work, right? It's not that I don't want it to work for those reasons. And maybe this is being a little pessimistic, I think that there's more to it than that. And sometimes in anime, it's, through the power of friendship, and because I tried, like, we got through this and we went off without a hitch, and, whatever. But it's like, real life here, and the ones that really make you think. That's why I think I draw actually a lot of parallels to Attack on Titan this season in that sense, kind of different. But, Attack on Titan has masterfully done it, where it's like almost downright depressing sometimes, which might not be your cup of tea. But at the same time, it really makes you think and question, and, really kind of look introspectively at like, okay, would this work? Is this realistic? What would I do? Why? It's not so black and white, right?
I guess for me, I think her resolve is going to get tested sooner than later, actually, when they go out.
Okay.
I do think that with a couple episodes when the two kids were being followed when they went into town, I do think there's going to be attack on that temple. And I do think that kids are going to die. I think the saving grace of, I mean, they all could die. I feel like if the ones that are going to survive are the most relevant ones that we've seen, which are those two kids we've seen on the tower, and they're probably going to be some integral part of maybe chasing away some demons. But I kind of hope some of them die, so then Emma does get a little bit of a, because she's gotten lucky in a sense. Like, yes, they sacrificed a lot and their kids still left on the farm, but it's like I don't know, she's been wavering back and forth in the beginning of this season, but like she does need almost like a reality check that Norman has, and I want to see how her perspective changes. Knowing her, it's probably not going to change, and she's probably going to go forward with it. But I don't know. I'm like full camp Norman.
Oh, yeah.
I really am, bro.
Well, no, I think you bring up a good point, because it takes a lot to even have the resolve that Emma does to begin with, but it also is saying something completely different, like you said, when you experience that real visceral loss, in the sense that it's like, yeah, she's lost a lot. They've grown up on farms. It's been this whole thing, and she's still, through thick and thin, wanted to do what's best, for just everyone involved, demons alike now at this point. But like you were saying, I think it hits a whole new level when it says, okay, let's go do this thing. And then, potentially if that happens, there's an attack on the temple, and like quite a few of their family, because they're technically siblings in that sense, die, right? Then it's like, okay, Emma, are you still on this plan? Because like, to be fair, if Norman went ahead, I don't know how long Norman's plan is going to take, but he says, if you're not back in 3 days or 5, I'll proceed with the plan. So I'm assuming he could start it right now, is my point, right? Where it's like every second sooner that you started that, that's one less person of yours that could have suffered and died. It's like, now what's your thoughts on it? And like, it's a very hard tightrope to walk, right?
And they posed a good point at the end there when she was talking to Don and Gilda, and I don't know why, maybe I'm just an asshole, but when they said like, oh, Norman just has to have more faith in us. And I'm like, I get that, but also the plant, like, yes, you guys escaped a farm, but it wasn't a success. Like, there's so many kids still at the farm, and even then, it's like you've been on the run since. Like, what real successes are, like, Norman, we're talking about, he, like, bombed a whole farm. He already saved a whole, I'm just saying, I'm going off of pure credentials right now. Like, Norman,
that is fair.
Norman has literally, it got moved to a testing facility, blew that bitch up, and saved, like, a whole, like, farming facility, or not farming, but, like, a manufacturing plant. Like, he has put in, like, 80 times more work than, like, your one plan, which wasn't really a success. Yeah, it was hard, and, like, you all had to get through it, but I'm like, we're talking about, like, bombing a place and, like, taking, like,
and creating a serum that could just annihilate an entire species. Like, what? Like, where do you find the time?
I can see why he might not really put all of his eggs in you. Like, he's kind of putting in work, and yes, you escape, but, like, he's really, like, he's got, like,
Norman's on another level, dude.
Not to mention he's on a time crunch. Like, that's what makes it even more, like...
Yes, exactly. That's really the key here, is right, and I think that's going to be a big play, is how Don said, we got to convince Norman to put his faith in us, and I think that's it, is that Norman always feels, and I feel like this was highlighted in this episode, Norman feels that he has to put the burden on him fully, because... And it's a double-edged sword in that, right? Because he's doing it out of this form of nobility and this protectiveness over them, in the sense that he says, okay, all things considered, I know that you guys might not be able to get out of this, and I need to be the one that bears the full punishment of this, right? Where it's like, in this, you could, I feel like he's trying to say, this is the future I want, and then he's always looking at himself, he's like shaking, right? Or his lips move in some way. And what that tells me, maybe reading too far into it, but that he knows this is a really tough decision, but he knows it's one that, to him, has to be made, but he doesn't want to leave that decision on Emma and Ray, and he doesn't want, when he's gone, for somebody else to have to make that decision or not make it, and then there's more death. He feels like, okay, this is a really hard decision. This is what I have in front of me. I'm going to be the one responsible for the death of their race. Yeah. I'm going to be the one to do this, so they don't have to, but I'm also going to be able to save my family. So I think that's the play, is like, do you put more faith in us, right? And if Norman is able to put faith in them, maybe he actually does die, in the sense, right? Because it seems like his days are numbered anyway, right? Because as far as we know, there's no cure to what experiments they did, right? And they're just going to take medicine, and eventually their body's going to build an intolerance to that, or a tolerance to that medicine, and then they're going to die out eventually. It seems like their death sentence has already been stamped and
I think
approved.
they're just going to run out of medicine.
Or that, right?
Yeah.
Point is,
they blew up that facility. There's no getting more medicine.
Point is, Norman's on a clock. Oh, I genuinely think Norman's on a clock now. So the thing is like, okay, how much time is left? And it's like, Norman feels like if he didn't do anything, in that time, this is it. Norman's on a clock now. So even if they do kill the demons, he's going to die anyway. So this isn't about like, oh, I'm saving myself. That's what makes it really tough. And it's like, do you put faith in these people, your siblings, that they're going to be able to, even after your death, if you don't kill the demons, go forward with some sort of plan to unite people and make peace. Yeah. And like, that's all of it. But I guess it's easier said than done when you got like, I don't know how many days left or months left to live. And it's like, I really love y'all, but like, I'm going to need you to sit down for a minute while daddy takes care of business. And like, you guys are going to be safe. And that's really all I care about right now. You can figure out the rest of it now. This whole demon issue, very pressing. We have to take care of it, like literally now. And it's like, I love you guys, but I don't know if you're going to be able to make peace. And if you don't, you're all going to get eaten again. And then everything that we've been through and I've been through will be for naught, at that rate. So
there's no fail-safe. They can't go back to the human worlds, because look what, coming from Norman's mouth, it might not be the full truth, but if they killed Minerva, and you
I totally
put
believe
two and
that.
two together,
Yeah.
And it's like, it would make sense why they wouldn't be accepting. Like,
Of
this
course.
is their peace treaty. Like why would they just say no more? It just, it's one of those things where it's like literally every angle you look at, it's just not really possible unless you create a place on this side of the demon, Earth. Yeah. That you can survive, and the only way to do that is eradicate them. Like, coexisting is like...
And I guess that's anime for you, right?
100%.
You get the Naruto Sasuke thing, where it's like, you want to bitch slap Sasuke a million times, but Naruto, through thick and thin, will do whatever it takes, and then he eventually turns him, right? Yeah. You see this story played out so
100%.
many times in anime.
Yeah.
And I guess it's just like, the older and more cynical that, like, people inevitably become, it's like, you look at these stories, and it's like, I get it, but it's like... hot damn, bro. Like, you know, like how many things had to go in your favor in order for that to work, and how many ridiculous things,
the thing,
you know.
You watch it and you're like, this isn't reality. It's not going to pan out that way. But you also know that it's a TV show, so some like weird thing that realistically would never happen in a million years is going to come and save them.
Exactly.
And it's like, it's one of those like bittersweet things that you're like, yeah, you did it, but then you're like, you kind of step back and you're like, bro, Norman.
Because now the older I get here is like when I watched anime, hopefully you guys enjoy us going in on this, because I feel like these are good talking points after the fact. But I feel that when I wasn't like heavy into anime when I was younger. Y'all have already been through that story. Watch our previous podcast on the AOA show if you know. But Gavin and I came to the game a little bit later. But that doesn't mean that I never watched anime, right? Like, at least in my particular life story here. I saw anime when I was younger. I watched, if Naruto was on, not that I knew what Naruto was or what the point was, or Dragon Ball or whatever, right? It wasn't until I was older that I watched anime for anime, that I seeked out other animes to watch because they were anime, right? And I enjoyed it. But my point is when I was younger and I did watch anime or just stories that had to do with this in general, I wasn't relating that unto like a real world scenario, right? I was looking at that for what it was, and it was anime. Yeah. And I wasn't peeling back layers to see the moral implications of things that would go, or the strategical planning. That it was just like, this looks fantastic. These characters are sweet. I want to feel this hype. I want to be entertained. And when I got older, the older I get too, the more that I look at anime now, or just in general when I watch, movies or TV or whatever, I'm trying to look at it for a little bit of those values that you have to peel back to find, right? Like a little bit deeper. I got to unlock a couple doors here, because if I was just watching anime for purely entertainment and nothing more, A, we'd have some pretty boring conversations and probably not as many people would watch us. And B, I would have other shit to do. You know what I mean? Like, we wouldn't be in this scenario here. It's because of the deeper appreciation that we've built for it. But with that being said, the deeper you go into it, the more that, for me, the way I look into it deeper is relating it to real life experience and real life values and real life moral systems. And that's how I really enjoy anime, because it's taking those real life moral implications or the real life questions or the real life stories, but just dialing them up to 11. And that's the beauty of anime, is that you can have a world of chakra and tailed beasts, or, ghouls and whatever. You could have a world where there's demons and stuff, and it just takes those same moral dilemmas and questions and, like I said, ramps them up to 11, because now it's just like, whoa, okay, now there's scenario. So I think like it's hard for me to, it's very hard. The older I get, the harder it is for me to look at it as like, oh, okay, they're just going to get saved by some like Deus Ex Machina, or like some like, holy shit, there was this one thing that we could have done, and et cetera. And I don't know. I feel like, I guess maybe it's a double-edged sword, because looking into that is what makes it fun, but also looking too far into that is like, maybe I missed the point. And the point is supposed to be that, like, yeah, sure, we inserted a thing in there, but like, the point was that Emma's mindset, or like Emma tried, you know what I mean? And it's like, even if there isn't a thing there, like, you should still go forward. We just want to make the ending that she succeeded in order to make it a feel-good moment. But like,
No, that's the purpose. And that's why there are characters like Emma, and we see him in almost every fucking anime that there is in existence. But I'm just an asshole, and I like the Rays and the Normans, and like those are just the characters I've always liked. Like,
sure.
Like Shikamaru. It's just like, I don't know. I like that realistic feel that almost is the grounding aspect to like our reality in that show.
Sure.
And like, that's the funnel that I'm able to like see perspective wise. And it's like, yes, I understand like what they're really getting at in terms of their perspective, but at another end, I'm like, I really want just a show to ramp it in the other direction. And it's like that main character like Emma or like Naruto, who has everything going for him, the table falls underneath and it's like a full one, almost like Vinland Saga in a sense, where it's like you have all of this like faith going in where you're like, yes, yes, yes. And then in like episode 4 or whatever, it all gets thrown on its head and you're just like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. I'm about that. I don't know. It's just interesting.
I agree.
But
yeah, I think that's why I actually like Ray a lot this season in particular. I think he's had a lot of development just in general. And I also like his approach to being like, Emma, your plan's absolutely ridiculous, but I'm gonna go for it anyway. because screw it. You know what I mean? And it's like not so like black and white in that sense where it's like Rey's like, Rey is the one going in saying like, I totally understand the implications of this. I understand that it's probably a far shot, but I also understand that if I give in to too much cynicism or if I go too much in one direction or think that it all depends on me to do it, then it's like I lose what it is that makes me human. I lose what it is that makes us good and what makes us better in this case than the demons that are killing us. And I find that to be very cool with Rey in that he rides this middle line now with him. You know, I really like him a lot in this. Norman's always been like my fave since season 1, so it's like I have a little bit of a bias. Rey, I love Norman in season 1, and like so now it's like Norman's like kind of in dark mode, and I'm like, I'm kind of giving him a little bit of a pass because I'm just like, I got a little bit of a bias.
If anything, I'm liking Norman more because he's getting on the dark side. Like Rey was always my number 1, and now I'm getting Norman, and I'm like, Norman.
Dude, Norman is and
I mean, you could not like Norman. Everybody loves Norman. But it's like I just like the direction he's going in, especially like
here.
being a parallel to Emma.
I want to see the Emma growth going forward here, because from what we've been told in comments and stuff, being that they've completely deviated from the manga in a lot of senses, unfortunately, it seems like they glossed over a lot of character growth from Emma and like kind of showing some of the arcs prior that made her so solidified in this decision, because I feel like she's kind of just playing the same thing out that she did in the first season in that we can do everything, you know, like we just got to do it better. Whereas like Norman's had a huge character shift. And like I said, Rey, I think has had a big character shift as well and growth. So I'm curious to see. And again, I think the best way to do that is to shake your foundations, to take Emma's worldview and maybe flip it on its head, or, you know, go against it and see if she has enough resolve to buttress up against her worldview to see if it still stands when she's taken that battering from the storm, you know. But anyway, we've ranted enough. I enjoyed our conversation, though. Hopefully you guys did, too. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our reaction as well. If you did, make sure you guys are liking this video. It really goes a long way. You are subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell if you are new here so you don't miss any future Promised Neverland reactions, among many others like Attack on Titan, Haikyuu, Hunter x Hunter, Jujutsu Kaisen as well. Also, make sure you guys are sharing with your friends and commenting your thoughts down below. What did you think of our reaction? What did you think of this episode? What takeaways did you pull from this? Where do you decide? Where do you side? Are you undecided? Because I mean, it's a hard moral dilemma here, so I wouldn't hold it against you. Are you Team Norman? Are you Team Emma? Are you Team Emma but you understand Norman? Opposite? I don't know. I'm curious to know all those thoughts, and I love these moral dilemma questions and the thoughts in the comments down below there. So let us know, and make sure you guys are subscribing to the AOA show. The link is in the description down below. That is our main channel, where generally speaking we would have posted this discussion part on that channel, but y'all got lucky being that you're on AOA Reacts right now, where we post our other discussions for animes, like I said, Jujutsu Kaisen, all the ones we're reacting to, and other forms of content as well, like video essays, reviews, all that kind of thing. Don't want to miss it. But anyway, folks, until next time, thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you all on the flip. Peace.
Peace.
Ninjas are samurais, blazing the kunais. Find me in the leaf of the cloud, screaming out Bankai. We just some ghouls though, who like seeing parts fly. They like what you saying, Goma got more through the storylines. I tested your neck from the start, my hunters gon' come for your heart. I promise you'll land in my boulevard, left them in one piece, no